America has always had a love affair with the road. It's where we go to escape, to find ourselves, or maybe just to get lost for a while. But sometimes the road can take us to darker places. Welcome to Movies and Mailboxes. Today we hit the road in search of the creeper from the 2001 horror flick, Jeepers Creepers, directed by Victor Salva, which captures the haunting, often eerie beauty of rural America. The film follows two siblings, Trish and Derry, as they drive through desolate highways, only to encounter a creature known as the Creeper, who wants more than just their attention. But the road is beautiful, even when it's scary. So if you got a taste for the strange and a curiosity for the forgotten, let's go on a road trip that takes inspiration from the film, weaving in real history and a few haunted locations that could very well host a creeper of their own. Ocala, Florida, will start in the shade of Spanish moss, a town that feels like it's been soaked in history and sweat. It's the kind of place where the past hangs heavy in the humid air, tangled in the Spanish moss that dangles from the live oak trees. You can almost hear the whispers of old settlers, their dreams and failures echoing through the streets. There's a reason why Ocala feels like it could host a horror story. This place is old, and not just in years. The area is known for its connection to the Seminole Wars, with blood spilled over territory and survival. It's that lingering tension, the untold stories, that make places like Ocala seem timeless and a little haunted. Head south on Highway 27, where you'll find the real desolation. It's a road that stretches out in front of you like an open wound, endless and indifferent. It's the kind of highway where, much like in the film, your mind can play tricks on you. Is there something lurking just over that hill, or is it just your imagination? Let's take a moment to pause in the past. Along the way, you'll find yourself at Silver Springs State Park. Silver Springs is a Florida staple, and while tourists used to flock here for the glass-bottom boats and pristine waters, now it feels like nature is slowly reclaiming it. Back in the day, Hollywood shot a lot of films here, from Tarzan to Creature from the Black Lagoon. Today, the park has a quiet, almost haunted feel. The clear water hides dark depths, much like the creeper. There's always something lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Once you've soaked in Ocala's strange beauty, it's time to get back on the road. I-75 is your main artery, but the real magic, or terror, happens on the smaller roads. Just like in Jeepers Creepers, it's when you leave the safety of the highway that things get interesting. The film's setting, a remote, lonely highway, is reminiscent of places like County Road 318. It's a stretch of road that feels like it goes on forever, flanked by fields and forests, with not a single sign of civilization in sight. McIntosh is one of those tiny towns you could miss if you blink. It's got a population of about 450 people, and most of them seem to have been here forever. This is Southern Gothic at its finest. The Victorian homes, most of them creaking and weathered by time, look like they've been frozen in another era. The town's history is rooted in the 1800s, when it was a railroad hub. These days it's quiet, too quiet maybe, like a place where something could be watching you from the shadows. The McIntosh Depot still stands, a relic from when trains ruled these parts. It's been restored, but you can feel the weight of its history. Trains may no longer run through here, but stories sure do. The locals will tell you about strange sightings and the feeling that sometimes, late at night, something walks the tracks that haven't seen a train in decades. Now, if you're into the bizarre, and let's face it, if you're following the trail of Jeepers Creepers, you probably are, then Spook Hill in Lake Wales is the next stop. This place is an old roadside attraction, but it has roots that dig deep into Native American folklore. Legend has it that a giant alligator once battled a chief here, and their spirits still roam the area. When you park your car at the base of Spook Hill and put it in neutral, it rolls uphill, or at least it seems like it does. Science says it's an optical illusion, but out here, where the sun sets behind the cypress trees and the air smells of swamp and decay, you start to wonder if there's something else at work. It's not unlike the feeling the siblings in Jeepers Creepers had when they saw that creepy old truck tailing them. Something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Further north, off the main roads, there's a place that feels like the kind of spot you'd stumble upon in a horror movie. Ellaville. Once a thriving town during the post-Civil War era, it's now a collection of ruins swallowed by the Florida wilderness. Founded in the 1860s as a lumber town, Ellaville is a ghost now, a town erased by time, with only a few structures standing as eerie reminders of what used to be. You walk through Ellaville and the air feels heavier. The old buildings are crumbling, the trees have grown wild, and there's a sense that nature is slowly reclaiming what's left. In Ellaville, you can almost feel something watching you from the decaying windows, waiting for the right moment to make itself known. This town isn't just dead, it's haunted by the memories of those who lived, worked, and died here. The final stop, the Everglades and the Tamiami Trail. If you've made it this far, you're ready for the final leg of the journey, the Everglades. Take the Tamiami Trail, a highway that cuts through the wild heart of South Florida, where civilization seems to disappear into the swamps. The Everglades are one of the most beautiful and dangerous places in the country. It's where the natural world is still in charge and you're just a visitor. The air here feels different, heavy, alive. The dense mangrove, the endless expanse of water, and the wildlife that watches you from just out of sight, it all creates an atmosphere where anything could happen. You half expect to see something inhuman stalking through the water, just like the creeper. The Everglades are a place of mystery, of survival, and of fear. A fitting end to a road trip inspired by a film where survival is never guaranteed. As we reach the end of the road, I'm reminded of a line from Jeepers Creepers, when Trish says, "You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it. Out here on these forgotten highways and in these haunted towns, it's easy to feel like you're on the edge of something. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's excitement, but either way, it's a feeling worth chasing. The unknown is where the real stories are. The ones that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The ones that stick with you long after the road ends. Safe travels, my friends. And keep an eye on the rear view for the creeper, just in case. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you've ever visited any of these places or on your favorite scene from the film Jeepers Creepers. Thank you again for watching, and happy Halloween.